Never stop reading the Bible. So let's talk about the Gospel of Matthew, chapters 25 and 26. This is where we see his words connect directly to his actions. And really, getting that connection, how the stories in chapter 25 perfectly set the scene for the drama of chapter 26, that's the key. It unlocks the whole thing. Okay, so let's start with chapter 25. This is where Jesus wraps up his teachings about the end times, and he does it with 3 really powerful parables that are all about how his followers should live while they wait.
Yeah, he gives them these 3 distinct stories, and they're not just, simple moral tales. They're meant to be a practical guide for how to live when you're waiting for something big.
First up, you've got this story of the 10 virgins. This one really hammers home one point. You have to be ready all the time. It's this stark reminder that you can't just borrow someone else's spiritual prep at the last second, because, nobody knows when that moment will come. Then we get the parable of the talents. And this one kind of shifts the focus. It's not just about waiting anymore. It's about working. Jesus is basically saying that being faithful isn't a passive thing. Nope. It's all about actively using the gifts you've been given. And finally, there's the parable of the sheep and the goats. And this one, wow, it reveals this huge truth. Our judgment is tied directly to how compassionate we are. How we treat people who are struggling, that's a direct reflection of our relationship with God. The bottom line, action really, really matters. So, with that idea of faithful action fresh in our minds, the whole vibe changes in chapter 26. The narrative takes this dramatic turn, moving away from Jesus' teachings and right into the events that lead him to the cross. And this is where we get a really crucial insight into how Matthew is telling this story. See, he's not just a reporter listing facts in order. He's more like a theologian, and he's shaping this whole narrative from what you could call a redemptive historical point of view. What does that mean? It means he's actually moving the sequence of events around, and he's doing it on purpose. He wants to highlight the deeper meaning, the redemptive purpose behind everything that's going on. This is storytelling with a mission. So we see the story build through these key moments, right? From predicting the cross to Judas's betrayal, all the way to Peter's denial. Every single one is placed exactly where it is to build this theological case about sacrifice, betrayal, and God's will. And this really gets to the heart of the tension in the Passion story. I mean, look at the contrast. On one hand, you have Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane accepting God's plan. And on the other hand, you have Peter, who just completely gives in to human weakness because he's afraid. It's this incredibly powerful picture of divine will versus human frailty. All right, so when you put these 2 chapters together, what are the big takeaways? I mean, what's the connection between all that teaching and all this action? Well, when you look at them side by side, you start to see they're not separate stories at all. They're like 2 sides of the same coin. They create this bridge between Jesus' final instructions and his final ultimate sacrifice. Let's break it down like this. Chapter 25 gives us the what. Be prepared. Be faithful in what you do. Then chapter 26 gives us the ultimate how. It shows us what that faithfulness looks like in action, even when faced with betrayal and death. This explainer was produced by the Center Studio.